Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and I have been spending a lot of time as of recently in Korax Revenge, and I cannot stress this enough just how much I love this BG. And honestly, I think Blizzard really needs to consider keeping this BG, maybe as a brawl, or maybe just something we can do on a regular basis. Korax Revenge is an amalgamation of an old school Alterac Valley from Classic at one point of the patches being returned to the current version of the game Battle for Azeroth through a time walking style scaling event, allowing players of different levels to queue into a battleground and with scaling compete against one another in order to play Classic AV as it was meant to be played. No time restrictions and trying to kill the enemy leader with all the different variables that old school AV used to have. But, of course, it's a modernized version of this game, and it's going to have a modernized scheme of today's WoW, where everybody cares about meta and the fastest strategy possible. But I gotta be honest, as me trying to get some alts up and running and trying to grind out some of the essences. One of the essences I decided to do is I'm going to get Blood of the Enemy for the Shaman. I like Shaman in terms of Mythic Plus dungeons, but they need Blood of the Enemy. Blood of the Enemy was a grind the first time around on my Rogue, and I didn't mind it at all. I did it very slowly over time. I didn't actually grind it all in a single sitting. However, with my Shaman, I'm very anxious to get them up and running to the same state that my Rogue would be, just so I can enjoy them for patch 8.3. And plus, Korax Revenge has been on the table for me for quite a bit of time, and I have not yet gotten a mount. So I've been diving into this BG quite a bit. Originally, when Korax Revenge was introduced on PTR and I was there to test it out, even live streamed it, I actually came away very disappointed. I thought, yeah, it looks just like normal Alterac Valley. Yes, it has certain things that are different, like guards are very annoying to deal with. Both Alliance and Horde summoned our massive Titan Lords. For the Alliance, it was the big tree guy. For the Horde, it was a big rock boy. I'm not someone who played old school AV, so honestly, I don't know the name of those Titans from back in the day off the top of my head. I would actually need to look it up. But you get the gist. Both factions got their massive overlords clashing down the middle, struggling to capture any of the flags, any of the bunkers, and then all of a sudden everybody on the team Alliance just leaves. And there I am in the BG, kind of hoping that maybe we might be able to fill it back up with people on PTR, but either they got DC'd or they got booted out, and not a lot of people could be refilled into the same Alterac Valley for whatever reason. So my experience from there was kind of bland. As much credit as I give to Blizzard and their scaling technology, I walked away from this BG feeling like it's just a gimmick. The scaling doesn't really fit right, it doesn't really fit for maximum 120 characters. Instead, we just get weird health pools and abilities that function in very weird different ways. The best way I would explain it is certain abilities that would be like a primer, like a basic common point builder, actually did damage, in some cases more than a finisher, and other weird things. So it was very jarring, very weird, and I didn't like it at first. When Korax Revenge launched, I avoided it like the plague. And maybe for a good reason, because the BG event ended up being a farm fest for people queuing in, doing repeatable quest lines in order to collect all of their time warp badges to get the mount, but nobody was trying to finish the game. Then Blizzard adjusted the BG, and all of a sudden everybody is rushing to kill the final boss, and you have PvP skirmishing happening down the middle. Every team is starting to turtle, and then you are back to those epic battles on the bridge for the Alliance, or trying to defend the outpost on the Horde side as two teams clash together. It turned out that Korax ended up being a great opportunity for any of your alts to get XP, so I got my Demon Hunter up and running to 120 through Korax. That was my first experience, and I loved every part of it. So I've been running Korax on my Shaman trying to get Blood of the Enemy, and so far I've been enjoying it tremendously. A lot more than normal BGs or even epic BGs. Hell, I would say that Korax Revenge is a more epic BG than actual epic BGs. When I first started playing WoW, I always enjoyed BGs, and I always enjoyed the big epic battlegrounds, the Alterac Valley, which was the Alterac Valley that a lot of us remember from Cataclysm, where you would just rush the enemy leader and try to kill him as soon as possible. But going back into some epic battlegrounds, again as part of my honor farm grind, none of them really feel epic. I mean, they are large scale, there is a lot of players on the map, there is a lot going on, and the stability for Blizzard is definitely a lot better than it was in Legion or WoD in terms of just overall lag when all the abilities are going off at different parts of the map. So Definitely the experience is a lot better, but they don't really ever feel epic. Korax Revenge, on the other hand, just feels like a zone. It doesn't feel like a BG because this zone has vendors and quests and different things for you to do. There's a bunch of different objectives for you to conquer. And with the whole idea of Battle for Azeroth, Alliance versus Horde, I feel like Korax Revenge probably does the best job signaling the whole Alliance and Horde dominance, trying to take down objectives, you know, getting the mines, taking down enemies, bringing back certain, I don't know, like artifacts inside of a troll cave or something back to a leader of the Horde or Alliance and getting a turn in for a quest. It's one of those charming things that I think Vanilla did really right when it comes to making these BGs. Instead of making a battleground where, let's say like Warsun Gulch. Right now in BFA, in Warsun Gulch, you can either attack the enemy team, go pick up the flag, drop the flag, take down the enemy that's running with your flag, and then kill the rest of the enemy team. And you have some of those pickups to increase your health increase, or maybe a berserking buff or a speed buff. But past that, it's a very simple strategy that just works in a setup deathmatch style with an objective type of BG. However, with Korax, what Classic does right sometimes, I feel like, is making a world. And with the BG for Korax Revenge, Blizzard decided to make a world. And inside of that world, there are objectives. There is reward structure, but there's also other things to do inside of Korax Revenge as well. It has this cool feeling that I like this nifty feeling that every cave you explore, there's something inside of the cave. It's there for a reason. There's trolls guarding this cave for a specific reason. You might not really know why, but the questions do come up. The Alliance and Horde, the way that they're set up in their bases, how the bases are structured, all the different things you can do inside of those bases with the various NPCs you can interact, as well as getting NPCs to summon a powerful elemental, is that attention to the different details that you can experience in Korax Revenge that I think would make it super enjoyable. And if Blizzard can add more BGs, more epic BGs with this very, very similar feel, then I would actually be pretty satisfied. And I think it's a cool idea, one of those things that was lost from back in previous versions of the game, and I think it's something that could come back in Shadowlands. It'll be a perfect time to introduce some massive BGs with Shadowlands that are very much in style and similar to the inspiration that went into Korax Revenge. I think another way to help compare what's done right and what's done wrong when it comes to making these epic BGs is take a look at Warlords of Draenor and Ashran, otherwise known as Trashran for a specific reason. Ashran was a very ambitious idea to create basically a Alterac Valley 2.0. You have this BG with these bases for Alliance and Horde, these leaders that you're supposed to defend, and it almost feels like the BG doesn't really ask you to do anything. You're just going out there and you have your playground for world PvP. And hey, you have those elementals that you can summon. You have the rock boy for the Horde and the tree boy for the Alliance. I mean, it's exactly like Alterac Valley or Korax Revenge. Except Ashran always tried to be very, very busy with what there is to do for players. It always felt like it was rushing you to these different activities. Like, oh, go hang out by this ogre cave and capture these campfires. If you're able to control the campfires, you get more points, and it's basically like a mini Arathi Basin style event. So go there and go capture these campfires. Then a couple of minutes pass and it's like, oh, go to the amphitheater and stand around this racer dude that's riding your faction mount, and if he makes 3 laps over and over and over, the more people stand next to him, the faster he runs, then your faction wins. Or go and start collecting these ghost souls or something. Then go and kill these, I don't know, what was it, like little gremlin looking things, earth gremlins, and you pick up lava from them and you store it in a cart. It just felt kind of gimmicky. It felt very arcadey. It didn't really feel like it was serious. Ashran felt like it was really nudging you towards these events, while Korax Revenge doesn't really force you. Ashran really was trying to feel like an open BG, while Korax Revenge did a good job of just being a zone with an objective. And that's all you need. I don't know, I just really enjoyed Korax. I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. I really think Blizzard should keep it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. You let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.